Whoa. What's down, people? What's down? Welcome to the fan line. You dig me? Me, A. Davis. I got my dog, Cheddar Chaz. How you feeling today, brother?
Oh man, I'm cold, brother. I'm
Cold.
cold.
Man, how the weather where you at?
It is
No, I
real.
seen you posted the video of the snow and whatnot.
I'll say it's real. It's like
Yeah.
remember that movie The Day After Tomorrow?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's like
Oh,
2 days.
it's
Yeah, it's like 2 days from then.
my dog
It's like
inside. We
it's
inside, ain't
real,
going
boy.
nowhere.
Yeah, it's serious, but we pushing through. We pushing through, man. Still got the lights, so everything gravy.
That's what's them, though. Make sure y'all stay safe, stay off the roads, bro. I know how it be. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? People, snow come down, people get to driving all crazy. Like it snow out here in New Orleans once every, Louisiana, once every blue moon, bro.
Right.
And when they do it, so like as a firefighter, you dig, it'd be really weird watching people. Whoa, what's good, Jaden? What's good, Mike?
Whoa.
Yo, man, look, hold on. I don't even know if I dropped the link in there, but I'm gonna let me drop the link in the chat for anybody that won't join, that's ready to, you know what I did.
What up, Jade? What up, Mike?
Here we go.
What you was saying as a firefighter? What?
So like, bro, when it snowed, don't nothing make me even madder, bro, than watching people that's never dealt with snow, never know nothing about. We don't know how to drive when it rains.
Right, let alone when it's like ice on the road and
bro,
snow.
ice
Yeah.
on the road, and so we be out, and I just see it's people in ditches, it's people in trees, it's people, and I'm like, dog, oh, what's good,
What up,
everybody?
Louisiana gal?
Appreciate it. What's up?
People in trees.
Dog, listen,
like
driving smooth off the road, bro. Smooth off the road. Whoa, what's good, Mike? Appreciate you for tapping in.
Mike,
dog.
what's the deal?
How you this
Man,
evening?
what's good with y'all, fellas?
Oh
Nothing
man,
much,
you know
man.
how it go, just cooling. Nah,
Man,
we
Yeah.
I know you said you freezing, bro. Look, that's I used to stay in Buffalo, dog. Hey, I had to move. That shit was too cold.
Oh my God. See,
Look,
you
my
went,
last week there, bro. Man, this shit was like 8 years ago. I never forget, dog. They had a polar vortex the whole week. It was like negative 25. And then my uncle owned a few businesses, and I was running one of the businesses. I said, look, hey, I called him in the middle of the night. I said, I can't do this no more.
I quit.
He said, you quitting on me? I said, not on you, but I'm quitting on the weather, dog. I got to get out of here.
Because I'm right there. I'm right by Canada. So
yeah, but yeah, like that. Yeah, you got
Niagara Falls right
like
there.
Niagara Falls in Canada. Yeah, bro, you like right there.
Boy, yeah, no, it's real out here. Q, what up with you, Q?
Oh, what up, Q?
Yo, what's up?
What up with your homie?
Nothing much, chilling.
For sure. So,
bro, Jaden, I'm wondering, was Jaden? I don't understand what's going on, bro. I got you backstage, but I don't know if you got like a mic that's disconnected or what. It's not allowing me to.
It might be using a webcam somewhere else or something. Because sometimes that's what happens with when you try to connect to one of the streams. If your webcam is being used somewhere else, it won't let you connect. Maybe
Okay.
That's it.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what's going on with it. You hear me? Like we keep working on it. We got to get you a mic or a webcam or something, James, so we can go ahead and make sure we bring you on. What's up, Q and Mike, man? There you go. Hold on. There you go. Let me see. Whoa, what up, Jay?
Jada, we got you in here. Lean,
how y'all
what
fellas
up?
doing?
Oh, we doing well, Jaden. How you doing, man?
Yo, with you.
Doing great.
That's good to hear, man. That's good to hear. Lean, I see you in the building. What up, Lean? So, if y'all want to just start with the latest and the greatest, shout out to Louisiana gal, man. She always coming through supporting. So the news has come out about DeJounte Murray via Brett Siegel. I don't know what happened just now to Jaden. He dropped.
I don't know, man. We gonna work on
figure it out.
Yeah.
So the latest and the greatest is him and Rich Paul, they would welcome or be open to a new team. I think that's putting it mildly. to be honest, I think that's putting it mildly. I think the consensus around the Pelicans organization is like, yo, this dude's gone. Like, he may never play for the Pelicans again. Ultimately, I think it would be in his best interest to come back and play at least 10 minutes in maybe like 2 or 3 games, because you got teams like the Houston Rockets that's desperately looking for like any kind of point guard help they can get. They're also looking for some center help, so maybe there's a couple different 3-team deal, multi-team deals you can put together. I don't really think he's an option for the Bucks at this point, given the situation with Giannis. We'll talk more about that and the implications that would have on the Pelicans' future. I'm gonna just say this too. I think anybody talking about the Pelicans potentially trading for Giannis just gotta lay off the pipe, man.
You gotta be smoking crack, dog.
Yeah, you gotta lay off the pipe, brother. It's not possible. Well, it's anything possible, but it ain't happening, right? It just ain't happening. But
what up, Liam?
What up, Liam? But yeah, man, I absolutely think DeJounte Murray and Rich Paul, they're trying to figure something out to get him anywhere else. I think at this point he's open to going anywhere else.
I agree. I'm gonna respond to that, and then we'll kind of let it
open
the
panel up.
Open the panel up and let it go through that. My thoughts on DeJounte kind of go back to what you said earlier when he did the initial pivot interview. If everybody remember the pivot interview, he said in that interview that he asked out last year. Something, you know what I mean? He told you last year that he wanted out. When he was putting out the workout videos over the summer, I didn't think it was gonna be like likely that he would play for us, but he was showing teams that he was, look, I'm gonna be ready a lot sooner than people think I'm gonna be ready. I think if they would have been smart about it, even like you said, Chaz, with the team losing and all of that, if he would have came and said, look, I ain't trying to do much, but I'll come and show teams that I'm healthy, I think realistically he would have possibly already been moved, because the Rockets probably would have been willing to make that type of move if he would have shown a little bit of something. Not showing nothing is kind of like, I don't know whether I could take no risk on you in no damn videos and Rich Paul word, respectfully. So that, especially when you're giving up $30 million in salary. So that's just kind of where I'm at with the whole Murray move.
Man, DeJounte Murray, bro. Man, the thing like what made it weird, bro, and I really blame this on Griff. First off, I say this, bro. Before the trade happened, I was a big advocate of the trade, bro. I was like, oh, man, you know what I mean? We got a closer. Guy going to fit in nicely. Good defensive player. But, bro, DeJounte Murray, dog, and it kind of goes back to San Antonio. Dude is very, inefficient, bro. He has to take he'll take like 22 to 23 shots and have like 22 to 23 points. And other than the injuries, bro, I think that's one thing that's holding back a trade. Teams kind of looking at it, especially like the Rockets. They're like, man, this dude inefficient. Like, think about it, bro. Van Vliet ain't really shooting that many shots. Van Vliet gets you like 16, 17, trying to set everybody up. DeJounte Murray, bro, he ain't really trying to set nobody up, dog. And I think really that's one of the things that's holding it up is like he's really inefficient as a scorer. He's not really a floor general for a team that's looking for a point guard.
Well, he said when he came in, nothing he wanted more was to be like a point guard. You know what I mean? Facilitate and do those things. That's what he talked about. So I guess it'll be, kind of, can you put your money where your mouth is? And if he's on a roster talented enough to where you can facilitate, maybe he'll lean into that. But I think he takes a little bit more that leadership role. You know what I mean? And that responsibility to score when teams might not necessarily need that, because that's what he's been throughout his career.
Let me ask y'all, like on man, like if you had to grade it like on a from like A to D, like what grade player y'all think DeJounte Murray is?
Q, Liam, Jaden, one of y'all take that. Let's see what y'all think. Well, how would y'all grade DeJounte Murray as a player at this point in his career?
I'm not really a fan of DeJounte Murray's game. Nearly 30 years old, coming off an Achilles injury, with a game that predicates off of finishing at the rim and stopping on the dime for mid-range jumpers.
Very true.
I don't really see it.
So would you, Q, in your opinion, do you think that kind of leaves the Pels like stuck with DeJounte? Like, you don't think if other teams like view DeJounte the way you view him, like where do we end up?
I think you could get something for DeJounte. I don't think he's completely useless like that, but it's going to be kind of hard for a player with coming off that type of injury with that type of skill set.
I feel that. Liam, what you think?
First, can y'all hear me? I've been messing with my mic, so I want to make sure that.
Nah, you good, bro. You good.
All right, cool. I half agree about DeJounte. He's incredibly inefficient when it comes to shooting. And especially like, I think the reason that we got him was specifically because since Willie was here and we didn't have like a true point guard, we had like CJ doing most of the ball handling, or you would give it to Zion. You get DeJounte because DeJounte is a defense-minded point guard in my opinion. He's able to control the ball. He's able to dish it out. And when he doesn't have the ball, he's immediately going to be, okay, where's the next thing that I have to do? I could set the screen. I could catch it and try to reset the offense and see if someone can get open. I like that. But I have not been high on DeJounte since he was in San Antonio.
That's fair.
You can still get rid of DeJounte. You just got to look at teams that like are desperate for point guards. Somewhere like Houston, where like with Fred VanVleet out now, and now Steven Adams, they need something, anything.
Yeah, they starting to look more like a regular team than they did the team that they were last year. Jaden, real quick, what you think about DeJounte and his value and the news that he like absolutely wants out of welcome a trade and all of that? Yep. Jaden, you there?
He might have dropped again. But you know what? I think with DeJounte, the problem is mainly the number of years left on the contract. Because at this point, this season's pretty much over, so no one's really having an issue with that. But you have 2 years following this. So the number of years, similar to what CJ McCollum had going on when you couldn't really trade him about a year ago, just based on him having 2 years left on that deal, it's really tough. I think they do have avenues to move DeJounte. It's just about taking on worse salary at this point. Like, I think the Kings would take DeJounte for Zach LaVine because you could free up about $10, $14 million. Yeah, you free up some millions, you know what I'm saying? Give yourself some salary cap space, allow you to take on maybe an additional bad contract in exchange for some seconds or something like that. I'm not ruling out totally Sabonis, because Sabonis and DeJounte have about the same number of years left, and DeJounte's at a much cheaper number, all things considered. And if you're just using him as a gateway, well, whatever, Lee, if you're just using him as like, more so a gateway to a larger trade down the line, then that works as well. I just think at this point, you got to find a team that's what was your Jets? Louisiana against their teams want something attached to take back. We'll take DeJounte back with his contract. Joe doesn't want to do that. Rich wants him to return to play a few games. DeJounte does not want to return. And see, shout out to Louisiana Gal. Shout out to my dog Trey in the building also. That's really the thing. And if you tune in, make sure you smash that like button.
At that point, dog, if I'm Joe, man, just get your ass up out of here, bro. Look, I ain't got no time to play with you. Look, I'm going to send you off with this protected first. Get your ass up out of here, man. We ain't got time to play with you, dog.
Bro,
the thing is, and I think that's why I believe this Scoop B story, bro. Like, other than Mark Stein try to pull cold water on it, bro, I really think the Pels and Memphis had that talk. And Memphis was like, hey, look, like Chad said the other night, hey, shit, what's up with that 27 pick swap? Y'all is about to get you. Hey, let us get that 27 pick swap. Shit, you can have Ja. Pell's like, we don't know about that. Let us hold up.
Yeah, like, the thing with DeJounte, man, and it's unfortunate is that, what up with your coach? It's just always a bad exit.
It is a rough
when Atlanta, it was a bad exit. When he left the Spurs, he shitted on the Spurs. It was like, bro, every place he left on a bad note. And I'm always like this, bro. At some point, dog, if 10 people talking shit about you, at some point you got to look yourself in the mirror, dog. Everybody ain't lying.
Yeah, I mean, and that's kind of what I was trying to get across, like before when we was kind of breaking down the pivot interview. Is like, look, man, you know, personal, like I'm just focused on the basketball, right?
Just the basketball, yeah.
Just the basketball. You had a really down season. It was a really injury plagued season, and when you were available, you weren't at your best. So,
but I mean, a good point though about like if every team you're leaving, someone has something to say about you. Like no one had. I mean, like Pop does, but like Pop and DeJounte were like extremely close.
Yeah.
But if no one on the team, none of the trainers, none of the coaches, none of the players, none of the staff, no one can come out and say, yeah, this dude was cool. I fucked with him. We, kind of hung out. It was cool. Then that says something about you because that's the Boogie situation.
And like y'all say, like if I'm just going basic, if I'm like really just like analyzing and like evaluating the situation off when I'm looking at it like when DeJounte was healthy for the Pelicans last year, bro, it sucked, dog. Like they were still losing. I remember last year, dog, with DeJounte. Like I remember one game he was healthy versus the Knicks in New York. Boy, we got whopped by like 50. We was down by like 30 before the first quarter, dog. It was a lot of games like that, and I'm like, Willie. I know Willie Dog is like, bro, you gotta show me something, dog. You getting paid $30 million a year.
It's a rough situation for everybody. I think DeJounte's entire Pelicans tenure was rough because again,
he ain't never won't be here, bro. He ain't never won't be in New Orleans, bro. When you don't want to be in a place, and I'm sorry, I need to come. When you don't want to be in a place, dog, like, bro, you like emotionally, and you're not gonna really be into it like that, bro.
Yeah.
Like when he got here, and I think when they had just at the opening interview when him and Willie they got his name wrong, you know what I mean? And then realistically, like if you really analyze it, and again they say Trae Young wasn't available at the time, and maybe he wasn't, but Trae Young had came out verbally, I think, and was like, I'd be willing to go to New Orleans. You know what I mean? If I'm not mistaken, Chaz, wasn't that a thing? Like
I don't know if he ever said that.
So like
I remember it was the Spurs, the Lakers, and the Pelicans.
It was those are the three teams when they were initially talking about trading Trae. I think he did it on his little podcast or something that he did.
I know him and Zion are cool. I don't know if he actually came out and said because he probably would get fined. That's why I don't know if he said it. But I know he probably would have been open to the idea because the writing kind of been on the wall for him in Atlanta for quite some time. The issue, just like with anybody, is David Griffin. It's like David Griffin is such a weird personality, and they just become enamored with player types. Because to me, and I like DeJounte, but DeJounte was Brandon Ingram at point guard. That's pretty much.
I agree. He was Brandon Ingram at point guard,
and it's like, all right, so your plan is to trade. You about to lose this Brandon, so you're gonna trade for another version of Brandon. And like, what's the goal here? Like, they never even saw the deal through because you couldn't figure out the center position. You couldn't, move Brandon for anything worthwhile ultimately. And it was just bad from the word go. And you waited too late to do it. Trading for DeJounte, in my opinion, that was something you do during the 49-win season. That's something to put you over the edge versus you doing it the following season. Because at that point, I mean, on paper, it was a solid to good team, one would think, but you really ain't have no wins. Like once DeJounte went down, it was like, all right, so Zion's not playing the first game. DeJounte goes out the first game. Speaking of clutch people not playing, Brandon goes out. Clutch don't know what's going on with him.
And I think what made it so bad, Chaz, like, bro, when the trade first happened, dog, it was like incomplete. Because think about, bro, you gave up so much depth. Like, we can say what we want or not. Shit, them boys, they ran Larry into the ground. Larry was playing 30 minutes, even though he should have played 17. So you gave away Dice, you gave away Larry. Well, you gave away like 2 firsts. Who else? You gave away Cody Zeller, he ain't really nobody, but they were using him that season. You know what I mean? He was getting minutes. So you gave up a lot of depth. So when DeJounte went down, and then you had never got a center.
Yeah.
And that was a dumb thing, dog. It was like, okay, you got a point guard, but now you ain't got ball. You was out there starting Trey Jemison and Daniel Tice.
It felt like the DeJounte move was a good move that was supposed to be followed up by another move that never happened.
Yeah, never materialized.
Like if they would have did matter of fact, let's this point, because you said what we got for BI, we ended up getting
Kelly Olynyk,
Kelly Olynyk in the 2026 Indiana.
The indie pick.
Yeah, so top 4 protected. Yep.
So like, even if, and I'm not saying that this would have been a great pick at the time, but if they wouldn't have waited that long and maybe just look, we're gonna do something, and you would have started the season with that pick, maybe you would have.
We got offered KD for Ingram, dog. The people was, oh no, boy, y'all tripping.
It's a couple years ago, man. That was after the
we
Phoenix.
got offered KD, we got offered Cat, dog. I'm talking about like some like real talent. Group was like, oh no, I'm good.
God, I can't stand
the city of New Orleans kind of got a history of being like, oh, I'm good on elite talent. Let me ask y'all this, since Cat name has been brought up, actually, we'll kind of pivot a little bit away from DeJounte, because I think the consensus is that you can move him, but it's not really, is DeJounte not playing is not helping himself. And I just don't know if the Pelicans at this point can afford to attach, assets to him.
I think the only way
first just to get rid of. You wouldn't get rid of you wouldn't send it protected first just to get rid of them. Okay, look, let's say like if it's a really good trade that's like really gonna help out the roster. Because you said you sticking with Z, you sticking with Herb, you sticking with Trey. So you gotta put talent around these guys. You wouldn't send a protected first to get back real talent to get off his contract?
I think the only scenario in that particular situation would really have to be Liam typing.
Yeah, my bad. My mic
you good? You good. But I think the older scenario in that would be just taking back a larger, like more quote unquote negative contract. Like again, I think you could probably get Zach LaVine for him. I think
I'll probably do that shit for Zach.
I wouldn't give up no protected first for LaVine, though. I'd be like, hey, look, take Poole or whoever else and make the salaries match, and that's it. Or DeJounte, whatever.
Yeah, man, it's gonna be tough without him coming back to play. I think for as like with Poole, I think to me the priority really should be moving DeJounte. And with Poole, I think he'd be more valuable in the offseason as an expiring. But it's really all like, even with this season, it's so weird trying to bring some of these trades to fruition because they've been a day late with some of the stuff in the last administration. Now in this administration, you're just not seeing a ton of movement. A lot of guys
to ask y'all, bro. Are y'all a little concerned? We like 5 days away from the deadline. I don't see nothing happening.
Nah, because
the Pels, y'all not just a little concerned. Y'all really think
I feel like
Liam first and then Q. Jaden. What y'all think?
I feel like you're not really going to see like a whole lot this deadline. Not even because not even just from us. I mean, in general, because everyone was monitoring the Giannis situation so closely, and now we are somehow involved in that. And on top of all of that, the entire market is going to bottleneck because of the McHale trade and the Bane trade. Mm-hmm. No one has anything to send out.
I agree.
That's a great point.
I agree. Yeah, I agree with what he said. Everybody's going to be watching the Giannis trade, trying to see what they can get. And the Desmond trade also will reset the market.
Yeah, because Desmond Bane went for what, 5 firsts, 4 firsts?
Something like that. Like 3 firsts and a swap, or 3 firsts and a couple of swaps, I believe.
Yeah, that's why I hate a lot of the like overpriced like trades, because now what it did, man, it's like really soured the market, bro.
Yeah,
it's like that's why like with Chaz, like he always alludes to. I agree with him as well. Like Herb Jones, Trey Murphy, those type of guys, even a Zion, bro. That's like off. We all talked about this. That's off-season trades. Because bro, like at the trade deadline, I feel like that's more for like a Jose, Eve, Messi. You know what I mean? Teams trying to like clean up things. You know what I mean? Like little small parts of the roster, but I think that a lot of it, I think this year, a lot has to do with that Luka trade. Every executive or GM think everybody going for the crackhead deal.
Well, I mean, there's been a lot of like not a lot, but like the real deals that have been made, respectively, I think have been crackhead deals. Like Luka going for
CJ and Kiss.
Yeah, Trae Young going for no picks, and like Luka going for Anthony Davis, and now they can't move Anthony Davis. You like Bane going for what Bane went for is kind of like, you know what I mean? I just think that the trades themselves have been extremely unbalanced, and then a lot of the ownerships are afraid of. It's different to make trades with the new laws as far as like the financials and stuff
CBA,
like that.
Yeah,
the CBA and the aprons and stuff. So like teams are less. One, they're more restricted with the moves they can make, and then you're heavily penalized for going into the second. Like if you get to the second apron, it's really hard to get out of it or to like make moves at that point. So and to stay competitive. So I think you see last off season, if you remember, not just last off season, but before this CBA really kicked in, every NBA off season used to feel like holiday time for most NBA. You saw deals happening every day. Last off season, not Wolves. I'm sorry. Just shout out to Wolves. Shams was saying it was going to be the most movement they had ever seen, and it was really like one of the most least active off seasons I can remember in a long time.
I think with the CBA being a factor, also I do think we also exiting the superstar era. So like us leaving out of the superstar era, the way like you don't really have people like this one guy is going to carry you to a champion. Like we don't necessarily have that anymore with this elder statesman LeBron. I think it makes teams kind of question the move altogether. Like even with San Antonio, you look at San Antonio bringing on De'Aaron Fox. Like when you watch the games, it's like, oh, wait a minute. Now Wemby's really good, but maybe Wemby isn't that person. Like, you know what I'm saying? Maybe Wemby ain't, a comp to
Wemby ain't Tim.
Yeah, Wemby ain't Tim, or Wemby ain't a Joker at this stage.
Hey, quick question: do y'all think? I know the NBA is also a business. Do y'all think like teams are just waiting for that one team to set the mark? Because I feel like the Trae Young, there was like some other shit. I don't feel like that was like a trade that really set the market. Nah, do y'all think teams are like waiting for that one team to make a certain trade to set the market, and then everybody else just go after that?
I think the Trae Young thing was more of an anomaly, to where it's like they was like, all right, Trae,
he really forced the hand,
yeah, he really forced the hand. Like, all right, Trae, find a team that's gonna pay you. Like the Wizards said they're gonna pay me. All right, you going to the Wizards. Like, I really think it was as simple as that, because ultimately Atlanta didn't really get nothing out of the deal. Really. Like they'll get salary cap space, but free agents would have to be willing to come sign that. Also, you take into account John Morant's injured, Anthony Davis is injured, Jimmy Butler's injured, Kuminga is injured. Like all the guys, just Dante Murray's injured. Sabonis is injured. Well, he just came back, but Sabonis
came back, but he had been injured.
Yeah, he had been injured.
Hey, I was watching him too, bro. He don't look, man. He don't look, because before that tore meniscus, he was having all these hamstring tears. Man, Sabonis don't look the same right now, dog.
Yeah, and him and Doug Christie, they kind of not really feeling each other neither. So it's a lot of factors playing in. I'm sure the new CBA, but and we could kind of pivot to some of the whatever you had next up, L, because I would say even if the Warriors were to trade for Giannis, to me that don't make the Warriors contenders. You still got to move Draymond and find some depth. It's just it's a lot of parity in the NBA right now. And it's like if you're a team, if you're the Warriors, you like, man, Steph's still Steph, but do I want to give up 4 post Steph first? Because I have no avenue to recover these first. It ain't like, well, if it don't go well, I can just trade Steph. It's like, no, he gonna be 40-something years old.
And also, bro, you got to think about Giannis. The last 3 years in the playoffs, bro, he ain't even play. He get hurt.
Yeah, Giannis been
bro. The last 3 years, dog, he has not played in the playoffs.
And
Jay, let me ask you this question. It always hit him, the calf strain, dog. That's his weakness. Has he weakness the hamstring strains? Giannis shit the calf strains.
I think part of that is Giannis having to carry that load by himself for
I think Milwaukee's so bad, bro. They can't draft, dog. Like in the last 5-6 years, they drafted been horrible.
I think they got Doc Rivers over there. Yeah, and they moved. They had a good couple picks and they ended up moving them. But Jaden, let me ask you this question. Because I'm of the mindset that the West is kind of weak, and just like Chad says, if Giannis does go to Milwaukee, like, do y'all think the Pelicans in some instance with the pick or whatever, do y'all think the Pelicans should have any say in facilitating any Milwaukee trade? Is there anything out there possible? And Jaden, this for you specifically, that like, and then we could kind of like we could transition to that because that's what's been. Whoa, what's good, Trey? That's
whoa, Trey.
How y'all doing?
Cool,
doing
brother.
Good, brother.
That's good. That's good.
That's how Trey. Perfect time to join. This question go to Jaden first, and we'll just kind of like let it flow. But with the Warriors possibly, and anybody that possibly trades for Giannis, everybody been talking about the Pelicans possibly facilitating that trade. Is there any? First off, do you want the Pelicans to be involved in that at all? If so, what would be like your terms? Like, what would have to happen for y'all to like want the Pelicans to be involved in that deal at all? Is there any players, any scenario, or should the Pelicans just be like, nah, fuck that, we out? Jaden, you first, and then we could just kind of, we could pass it around, just let it go from there. Pause.
Stay away from it. Do not do anything with. Stay away from it. Do not do anything with that pick. We're gonna trade away one first. Stay away from it. We have potential to do maybe 2 top 4 picks. Stay away from it. Don't. You already got fleeced once. Don't stay away from it.
Is there any player they could throw in there that you like? Any team that could throw in there that make you consider it?
No, not really. Not any player I'm interested in. Just keep the pick. Keep building with your young players. Till eventually some of these guys like Zion, Herb, Trey, even though they're here right now, some point down the road, them guys gonna be out of the door. Like Zion, Herb, because they're gonna eventually off some of these bad contracts. DeJounte, Poole at some point. Like Chad's always mentioned, these are off-season contracts, and then with the trade deadline, like everybody's waiting to see what happened with Giannis. Because everybody trying to go get them like the Heat, Warriors, Knicks, Lakers, Timberwolves, Rockets, like, and then with the new CBA and everything, people are not really trying to move off and trying to get some of these bad contracts, and then nobody have nothing to offer. Stay away from it. I'm keeping the pick.
Keeping it. Let's rotate around. Trey, you just joined. You heard me, Trey. You go, and then Liam, Q, Mike, and then Chaz. Your opinion, and then I'll finish up. Depending on what's going on, we might be.
I'll say keep the pick because it could be valuable. Especially where Milwaukee, since they're going to rebuild, they can be, if it lands around like 4 or like 7, you can swap it. But I don't know, it'll be a small chance if it lands in that top 4 range where you can like get that good pick, get that like top 3, top 5. But if it's for like a player like in a 3-team trade where Giannis would go to the Heat and you can give that pick back to Milwaukee, get like Miles Turner and Tyler Hero, then you could probably consider it if you get off that DeJounte and Poole contract.
Hey, listen, y'all feel free to, if somebody say something, like it's everybody time to, like, you know what I mean, interact and whatnot, because I thought about like possibly the Miles Turner and whatnot. Chaz, let me ask you this, because this is something talked about too. Khalil Ware has been mentioned as part of Miami being willing to move him to the Bucks, right? In the Giannis deal. Would you be willing, and I don't know if he's worth that necessarily, but would you be willing for like Ware and something else like in the flop? Would you send the pick for a player like that?
Man, see, it's tough. I think that's an excellent suggestion. I know you're a big fan of Khalil Ware also. Shout out Louisiana gal. To me, I'm waiting to see where that pick lands, and then I'm making my decision, because I'm not trading a number 2 pick for Khalil Ware, and I like Khalil Ware, but I just couldn't do it. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I ain't gonna take a shot at home. I was about to take a shot at somebody. I just couldn't. I'm not like.
God damn, Chad.
For me, I would need. Only way I do it is if Miami was like, all right, we're gonna take this first and give you 3-4 future first. Like we're gonna give you like if I could turn that one pick into multiple, maybe 3-4 picks, potentially I would do it, right? Because I trust Troy Weaver's draft scouting. But aside from that, man, I would need to know where that pick lands. Because if I traded it before the lottery, because after the lottery, it's gonna be more valuable, especially if Giannis ends up leaving ultimately, and you just ain't got nothing to do with it. So if that pick lands in the top 4, I'm like,
and then you get both.
Yeah, then maybe I don't get both. Maybe I'm good, and I get to this really good pick to my already stacked team, like the Spurs. I got a solid rookie of the year point guard. I got De'Aaron Fox, and now I got Dylan Harper with the number 2 pick. So I'm keeping the pick into the lottery.
I was gonna say, look, what I would do is I hang on to it to the summertime. But bro, what I'm looking at, shit, man. I heard Cat, he hate Mike Brown. He feels disrespected by the Knicks right now for from the last summer for putting his name in trade conversations. Hey, you said you continuing with Z, Trey, Herb, and you're like, bro, you need a real center. Look, if that pick don't really turn out to be nothing in the summertime and I could go get Cat, hey, look, New York, whoever, like y'all can have that pick. Cause Giannis can end up in New York too, bro. Hell yeah, I'd do it.
Oh, Liam, what you think?
For like a bona fide center, bro, because that's really that in a guard position on the team, but the 2 biggest weaknesses. All right, do y'all think Cat on the Pelicans would elevate the team?
Absolutely. I think Cat on any team would elevate.
Oh yeah, for the spacing for sure.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I think Cat, if you put Cat on this team right now, even as bad as they are, like Cat, still people talk shit about Cat. Cat 25 and like, you know what I mean? That's a legit
25 and 13.
NBA, all NBA level talent, in my opinion. And you saw one season, they say Brunson was killing, don't get me wrong, but it took Cat to get there for them to go to that Eastern Conference Finals.
And the other reason I say that is also he has 2 years left on his contract. So next year, let's say things don't go right, and you like, man, fuck all that. Shit, you could flip it again and still get you back. You know what I mean? Like something good in return. Like if it don't end right, like if you could trade him, he'll be on like a $52 million expiring contract. Man, that's very attractive on that trade market, bro. So like for something like that, I'd do it for something like that. But I would wait. I wouldn't do it right now. I would wait. I'd be patient.
Liam Q, what y'all think? Liam Q, y'all there? One of y'all? No? Yeah? Good? No?
Oh, my mic was muted. I'm gonna let Q go first, so because I got a lot to say on this topic, and I'm not gonna. I don't want to run over nobody.
You can go. You can go first, bro. You can go first.
You sure? All right.
6-2.
So
yeah, I'm sure.
So right now, the Pelicans have what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. The 10th largest salary cap in the league. And that is good for us, but you need to start looking at those people that have the bad cap space. Because in the new CBA, and Minnesota just got hit by this, and they're gonna feel it. In the new CBA, if you're a repeat offender in the second apron, your picks start to get frozen. So you got to start shedding money quick. I'd start looking at like Cleveland, Minnesota, Golden State, LA, Sacramento, anywhere where they need to start dumping money.
Boston just did this.
Yeah. That with Drew Holiday and Kristaps, because they signed Drew and Kristaps to that large ass contract,
and then they realized,
yeah, and then they realized once Jason Tatum had his injury, oh God, we're about to get hit with the second apron and we're not winning a ring. So they just had to dump him. With the pick, I'm not moving until this year's lottery, because if Giannis does walk, you got to see what Milwaukee is going to do. If Giannis goes to New York, Cat's going to Milwaukee, meaning that they're trying to fill seats and, still bring in people and make the money, meaning they're not going to be bad enough for the clause in that pick to matter. If they're going into a full rebuild, Now that pick is valuable. Start looking at any teams with a lottery pick this year and being like, hey, do you want 2 possible picks next year?
I ain't even gonna lie. I didn't consider that. I did not consider that. Here's an example. If OKC somehow ends up with 2 lottery picks, not saying that they do it. Let's say, because do OKC still have those odds to end up with like 2 possible top 10 picks or something like that?
I don't think the Jazz or the Clippers will ultimately, because the Jazz pick is top 8 protected. That's why the Jazz thought to pull the plug. But that Clippers pick ain't gonna really be nothing. So but they had the odds going into the season.
With the way the Clippers are playing right now, they're making a play-in or a playoff push.
Hey, Chaz, you never know. Dallas got Cooper Flag, and they won a play-in game. Them dudes won a play-in game and still got Coop.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that was a little rigged, though. I ain't gonna lie.
It was rigged, dog. They like, hey, they knew the markets they didn't want them to go to.
Oh, yeah. But, like, Sacramento right now projected at pick 3. Indy, you're probably not getting that pick back because I think Hallie is going to be not right for a while. Not even physically wise. I mean mentally. Because that interview that he gave where he was like, I'm not ready to go back to Oklahoma. He's going to need physical therapy, and he's going to need possible therapy and just support around him because he's not going to be right for a while. Brooklyn, you might be able to bait into giving you because they're projected number 5. You might be able to bait them into getting something off of what they get off of Michael
Jordan. With them picks. Last year they had 5 first-round picks. I was like, they're about to get off at least 2 of the picks. They used all the first-round picks.
Absolutely, but they're also about to.
I'm like, that shit insane.
They're also about to flip MPJ. What do you think MPJ is going to go for?
Oh, 2 firsts.
So you get 2 firsts plus. If you give us your number 5 pick, you have 2 possible lottery picks in 2027. I feel like that's not a bad deal.
A whole MPJ is like what, 27, 26, 27?
Yeah.
I thought he's been healthy too. I give up a first for MPJ, man.
MPJ right now
one unprotected and one protected.
He's 27.
Yeah, he's 27 years old.
I'm sorry, Liam. You still rolling? Rolling?
Yeah, no. I mean, like the only thing is, also along with like the off season, you've got a lot of decent free agents that are coming this off season. If you can dump DeJounte Murray and Jordan Poole, you can start looking at the free agent market and just trying to. I'm not saying throw money at them, but you can start trying to entice players to come here by like nice contracts. Cam Thomas, right? For as bad of a defender that he is, that man is a 40-point-a-night bucket. You can throw like a 2-year, $20 million contract at him and get him in New Orleans.
Possibly. I think you'll have some avenue. The summertime, I think, is the next summer. I think will be more activity than this summer we saw because people have a better idea of what the actual NBA landscape looks like. Q wanted to get you in on that last. What would you do with the pick and stuff like that too? So let me go ahead and get you in on that.
Yeah, my person is keep the pick. And I'm honestly looking towards a rebuild if I'm the Pels. Honestly looking towards blowing this whole thing up and rebuilding it from the ground up.
Okay, I'm actually glad you said that because part of my thought with the pick was I don't think you move it, but this is why I don't move it because you go into next year and Chaz, you could correct me if I'm wrong about this. Is if the Milwaukee pick lands top 4, you get both. You keep your pick and right. Yes. So, under what circumstances would the Pels lose their pick?
It's a swap. And Atlanta would get the worst of the swap. So, for example, if the Bucks pick lands 5th and the Pelicans pick lands 7th, the Pelicans can say, all right, we got the 5th pick, and now Atlanta has the 7th pick. But if it lands in the top 4, then the trade doesn't convey with Atlanta. So yeah,
that's only if the Bucks are in the top 4, correct?
Yeah, if the Bucks are in the top 4.
So this would be my plan, because, or at least my thinking of it, because Joe Dumars said this year all of these players are untouchable. That doesn't mean nothing going into next year. And I think next year you'll have an idea of what the Pelicans are going to look like based off what they do with the summer. They say that they want a draft pick right now, right? They're scouring the league, figuring out how to get back into next year's draft.
I have my theories. I have my theories.
You got your theories on that too.
Yeah.
So here's my thought. Let's say somehow, even if you do get into this draft, it don't matter. Next year's start, Giannis is traded. Either, regardless if it's this year or next year, it don't really matter.
It don't really matter at this point.
Yeah, right now it don't matter to the Pelicans whether he's traded or not. But say next year he's like, you know what, I really can't do this. Boom, they trade him, and we've seen Doc Rivers. Unless they fire Doc Rivers, this team has an opportunity to be terrible. This team got an opportunity to be terrible every season, right? So what you could do, right? Wait till next season, and then if the team talking about us not looking good at all, and then Giannis ultimately forces his way out on top of them starting off bad, you could really punt next season. And then you can move Z. You'll probably be more open to moving Trey. You'll definitely be ready to move Herb, because Herb new money getting ready to kick in like 2 years or something like that. So now next season, I don't think Joe gonna be talking that untouchable shit next season.
There's one scenario I trade that pick. I mean, it's more than one, but the scenario I would trade the pick is if Golden State came to me and said, look, we'll give you 3 future firsts post Curry for that pick. And then I'd be like, all right, I'll probably do it. Because
I hate them future picks, dog. Because you never really know what could happen, bro. And then Golden State is a big market too.
But
that's a situation. It's like 50-50, because it could go great. And it's like I'm not gonna say you could get fleeced, but it could go great too.
But think about this though, Mike. Think about this, right? They don't really have many avenues to improve, but they don't really got no foundation aside from Steph and Draymond, and both of them knocking on 40. And you got Giannis, who injuries been stacking up. And again, look, after the Pelicans traded Drew to the Bucks went and got Damian Lillard, and that didn't work out. So you see, like it can always go either way. But I think if you the Pelicans, you'll have more bites this ain't a political show, but the way San Francisco look, I don't know if people gonna be moving.
Hey, look, I think you got next season, and because look, I don't think Zion gonna get traded, Chaz. I've said, like, I think they're gonna wait till his contract expire. And look, shit, if you play well or you do good here, you get the extension. If not, shit, go get the money on as a free agent. I think they're just gonna play it out with him. There's 2 years left, and then you got 3 years left on trade deals, so it'll be an expiring deal for him. And also, so I think they give it 2 more years, and after they feel like Fears and Queen they'll pivot to Fears and Queen. I mean, if that works, you know what I mean? I think in their minds they have a plan. Like, look, this, like you said, Chaz, like this is a multi-year plan. Like, if this don't go right, we have something we could pivot to.
To Paperboy's question, and I agree a lot with what you said, Mike. To Paperboy's question, you said, what about Pale's 31st pick for OKC 2 first? I think the Pelicans first are always going to be the most valuable. Like, with OKC first, like, I mean,
Presti a smart man.
It can't be. You know what? And I ain't gonna lie. A lot of what Sam Presti because you know who Sam Presti original right hand man was?
Troy Weaver.
Yeah,
Troy Weaver. So it's like, Troy got his misses. For me, I'm not a person who thinks well, I like how Troy Weaver drafts, so he should get as many opportunities as possible in the draft in 1 year, because you already got 2 young guys that you got to develop. You still ain't really got your coach locked in yet. You don't have your foundation, no coach in there yet. And it's really hard to develop all those guys at one time. And especially if you want to be competitive, because all of them need attention. Like, who knows how much further along Ivy and Cade would have been if you didn't have Killian Hayes still in minutes. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Very good point.
So with this situation, the only way I would be willing to trade it like today is if Golden State came to me and said, we'll give you 3 first beyond
like 29. Like
yeah,
30,
I would need like 29, 31, and 33, something like that.
And also, look, Troy, I would cut you off. If I'm like Troy and I'm looking at it, I'm like, hey, Trey, before I trade y'all, shit, I need to see y'all a few years in y'all prime before I just trade you. You just entering your prime. Y'all both 25. I need a few of y'all prime years before I could just trade you. You know what I mean? I'll be a fool just to give y'all away, and then I'm sitting back like, damn.
Realistically, the Pels in a situation where you don't have to do nothing. You just realistically.
Wait, so you don't think they should make any moves?
Well, no, I'm not saying that. I'm talking specifically about. I'm talking about specifically about the pick and possibly like facilitating any deals and stuff like that. Like, realistically, you just let the market play out. You ain't gotta because based on the moves, you're trying to be competitive. You still need to hire a coach. You still need to figure out your own roster. You got DeJounte requested trade. You got your own shit you need to figure out.
You got to clean up a lot of David Griffin's mess.
Yes.
And you got to clean up his mess
for
first.
A competent coach to come, I agree.
And nothing will make you feel better than, let's say you go into next season, you don't move the pick. And people gonna make you offers for it, but you don't move the pick, and then you bounce back in not next year, but the following year's draft, where somehow you end up with the Milwaukee pick and you get your pick. And then if you know what I mean, if you could be savvy enough to be able to possibly move Missy and get in this draft, now you end up salvaging the queen move, to be honest. Not saying that, and again, you gotta hope this pick don't end up fucking number 1 overall.
I just ran it on Tankathon. First spin, it ended up pick 6.
See, man,
it's still bad, but you can survive.
Yeah, you can live with 6, but like
that. Yeah, Liam, you about to say something? I'm gonna cut you off.
Oh no, you're good. I mean, the only thing that I really had is I feel like this is. All right. Up until recently, I want to say entering this season, and even a couple months into the season, I was on the train of trades on, right? Because
it's been 7 seasons.
7 seasons. 2 of them he's played above 60 games. He's usually maintained about the same consistency. Didn't pull out a jumper. Shout out Zion for pulling out 4 jumpers during that OKC game. I gotta give credit where credit's due. But on top of that,
that's a good note right there. The Bucks GM work for the Pistons.
Oh, this is true. I forgot about that. But the clip that came out of Fears being walked back to the locker room, and when you look at that fight, because this goes back to what Chaz had released of Zion wants to stay here, he wants the legacy, he wants it, and then during that Fears fight, the first person you see is Zion. And entering the tunnel, the first person you see is Zion. And in that clip, running after Fears, the first person you see is Zion. I do like the leadership that he is exhibiting now. But I also feel like Joe Dumars is trying to pull some 5D chess move of let Zion play out this year The reason that you listed him as untouchable is you go into next year with this pick, be bad. Milwaukee's going to be bad at the end of the year. Flip Zion, assuming that he plays 2 healthy seasons, you get picks and you get the picks from Milwaukee.
I disagree a little bit, Lee. Man, like Joe, like him and Zion, they have a really close relationship. I really think he's giving them a chance to like, look, if you ball here and you really won't be here, look, hey, we ain't got nothing to talk about. I don't think it's like you play well, then like at the end of the season or next season, I'm trying to flip you. I feel like, look, you won't be here, we're gonna make it work. If you don't, like what Joe said, you won't be here. I'll find you somewhere to go. Come let me know.
Yeah. It goes back to his opening day.
Like I really think he gave him look, Z. Like, yeah, we got our relationship, you know what I mean, from like me being in the office. But I like personally, I don't know you. I don't know what happened with David Griffin. But look, between me and you, look, man, we're gonna keep an open and honest relationship. And if you break my trust, hey, look, I gave you a chance. And until then, hey, look, you got my word, I got your word. And I think that's their I don't know that personally, but I believe that's their relationship.
I'll say this too, because I think a lot of what's been put out there, because I'll preface it with this. A lot of people in the local media, most of their relationships are with the older regime that was under David Griffin. That's why like Troy and Joe have really like insulated themselves, and they not like, you see some people complaining, some people who got shows like myself, they'll complain and say, he's not, he doesn't make relationships with people and stuff like that. They really talking about themselves. Like he's not going out of his way to make relationships with the local media. Also, a lot of the information they're getting is from like maybe potentially other teams or them just like making educated guesses based on whatever they do know. In my opinion, I'll make 2 points. One, the reason why I never really been with the whole tear it down thing is because I don't even know if Fears and Queen good. Yeah. Like them dudes really might not be good.
Like up already.
Like, and that's the thing. It's like
Chad giving up already.
Nah, because even like today, if you ask me today, I'm just gonna say, look, man,
2026 we aired shit out.
No, I'm not talking about him.
You giving up already, Chad?
Yeah, nah, I'm not. No, I'm saying as far as like even with DQ's an older prospect. I don't necessarily see him as a foundational piece. I see him more so as like a cool player. Like he's just a cool player. Whereas with Fears, I'm like, this is at least 3 to 4 years away. Like rookies generally don't start playing well. Yeah, especially young guards.
The reason I think Fears is going to like really play out, dude averaging like 15 points a game. The dude's supposed to be a freshman in like college.
But this what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying though, Mike. It's like he might be, but at the same time, he got a long way to go. And and you think about it like this, right? Young players typically don't really pan out until they're entering their second contract. If you're not like a Zion, like a guy who's an all-star out the gate or Castle Rookie of the Year type player, if you just like a person who got some peaks and some valleys, and the valleys are really low, and the peaks kind of like not that high, then it's like, all right, it's gonna take some time. Like it takes some nurturing. Going into year 2, now you got to find a coach that can nurture these guys. And by the time they ready to, like, we ready 4 years in, coach, we ready. Now you got to go find a coach that can win. Like now
speaking about Fears, I feel like he needs a veteran point guard to teach him, man. Like who was a veteran, like a veteran point guard, y'all were like,
that's why you go get Ja.
But I think this too. I agree with you, Mike. I think that as well. Because right now I think Fears is more like an undersized 2 guard, kind of like Quickly. Like, but
that's a great shout out to Paperboy.
Yeah, kind of like Quickly, Paperboy with that kind. But I'll say this as well. The Pelicans' issue is not only that you don't know if the guys you drafted are foundational pieces necessarily. 2, this ain't a great market. So like you haven't you clearing the books. That for one, it got to be somebody to sign, so you're not overpaying like questionable people. one of the biggest even though this is more of an anomaly, but one of the biggest free agents this season, Michael Beasley, this motherfucker in Guantanamo Bay somewhere, like he can't even get in the league right now. And like, lastly, it's like I'll say this. I don't think none of these dudes untouchable. I think if anyone had met any of those offers, they'd be gone, and they will be gone if someone is willing to meet those offers. I think nobody's giving you 2 unprotected good firsts for her, especially not this season. I don't think Trey's probably, out of the totality of the season, Trey's probably had about a month's worth of good games this season. And I don't think nobody giving you no 3 firsts and 2 swaps for him right now. And for Zion, I don't think you're getting a good unprotected first.
Man,
so
stuck with, like, I don't mean to say stuck, but the Pelicans is like a Joel Embiid and like 7 to 6.
Players are more valuable to you.
Yeah, the players are more valuable to you. Like, you know what I'm saying? Whereas, like, again, Herb's probably not starting on a lot of teams that would be interested in trading for him. Look at what Alex Caruso got traded for last offseason. You know what I'm saying? Lou Dort probably could get you 1 first, and you'll be hard pressed to find people that really think Herb Jones is better than Lou Dort.
And them boys, they asking for. They said, man, I saw some shit. I don't know if the report was true. It was like they want a Bane deal. I could see for trade. It was like for Herb too. I'm like, oh no, man, y'all got to chill out with that. You ain't getting no Bane deal for Herb. I love Herb. Bro, you might get.
Herb ain't getting the Bane.
I'm gonna be honest. I think you could get like a good prospect back, a first, and maybe like a protected first back for Herb. Take that shit and run.
Yeah, that would be.
And if you
Herb can't even shoot,
you could get a real good. I think if you put Herb and Messi, you could get a real good deal back.
I think a realistic trade for Herb, right? Because I mean, like we watch him, like, and some of us like gas him up a lot, right? Because I'm a Herb fan, but realistically, he's an inconsistent corner 3 shooter. He's a good defensive player, but he's also like been battling a bunch of injuries, and he's an older player. You're looking at like a decent player and expiring if they don't want to give you a first, or they're going to give you a first and like maybe a couple seconds. I don't think you're getting 2 firsts out of Herb.
And I'm sure I'm in the minority with this, but man, I know me and Ross have been saying it. It's like, bro, that's a bad contract. Like,
oh no, absolutely.
You know, no, I'm not saying you, Lee. I'm not talking about you at all. I'm saying generally, like, if just in my mindset, I'm like, it's a bad contract.
20 million for Herb.
Yeah, it's like, no, man. 29 years old, $20 million for, you know, a rotational guy with 1 skill set. And yo, shout out to Paperboy. Luka, I had this queued up before. Luka averaged like 30 points versus the Pelicans. So. Yeah, that's just
Luka used to get that shit at the half, bro.
Yeah, that's like we literally just saw Herb play the Lakers. Herb could be anybody.
Yeah,
like, and we don't gotta talk about what John Morant be doing to the Pelicans. Like, Herb
closing games off injury, 30 easily. Respect.
Matisse Thybulle was a 2-time all defense guy. Alex Caruso, 2-time all defense guy with the Chicago Bulls. I don't know what Grub talking about that he was with the Lakers. Like, he had Anthony Davis. No, it's with the fucking Bulls. 2-time all defense Dolo.
Herb is cool. Change topics, but look, buddy, that was kind of smart by the Bulls GM shit. They were like, shit, man, let me go ahead and go get Josh Giddey real quick for Caruso.
Oh, yeah, and Giddey a beast. Giddey's awesome.
Giddey a dog, man. He like a triple-double. He a walking triple-double.
Awesome. Dude, awesome, bro. It's
so
just
like you got to kind of like, look, you got to strike-wise hot. Don't wait till like Herb values all the way down.
And it's trending that direction, you know. Go ahead, L. My bad.
No, y'all good. Let me ask this, because as let's say this team doesn't make any moves, or they're in a position of where it's just nothing really materializes. Right now, you're going into next season with most of these players, because you're gonna look at moving DeJounte in the offseason. But if DeJounte doesn't play, right, he's likely not gonna get traded. And if he don't get traded, ain't no way they're gonna just let him sit the rest of the fucking year and not play.
Nah.
Right? Nah,
he gonna be in trouble.
Exactly. You get what I'm saying? So you got to worry. So let's just, in the hypothetical world, let's say nobody gets moved right now. You got Jordan Hawkins, man, making trade requests, right?
Which is astonishing.
Do y'all believe that report?
I don't know if I don't. So I don't
think
know
it's
if
fake.
I don't know if I'm Hawk. Like, you just kind of want to fly under the radar as much as possible. Now, if I'm him, I want out. Yes.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not playing. I don't have no opportunity. This offense might not work for me. Everybody's saying, like, you do want a fresh start if you Hawkins. But
you know what I realized? That trade request came out after the one for Dalton Connect, where it said he stormed into Rob Pelinka's office and demanded a trade. I was like, yo, you got to get original, man.
Yo, Liam, you know what that was crazy? Right before that, Jeremy Sohan, he was like,
Can I look for other places?
Yeah, it's like, all right, look, this is where we at in the NBA right now. Like, this is what's going on. But
super, not even super role player, but like the role players are asking out. But this was my point, and even that's funny, the Hawk burner account. But this was my point in bringing that up. If we so bad right now that you got Jordan Hawkins asking out, this team, in my opinion, can't go. And I'm not saying you have to acquiesce to any trade demand, but another bad season. And we talking about, like, it's already been reported that Herb is welcoming a trade, right? DeJounte's already welcoming a trade. You know, Poole won out, bruh. Like, you literally, who's left of your untouchables? Like, next season, if you have another bad season, you're gonna be in a position to where Z with 2 years left. Who else would have? Well, not Herb. Trey just kind of got his money, but you'll be in a position where most of the players that you talking about gonna be like, hey, dog, we ain't doing shit here. Like, what's the plan? Get me out of here. And then I think the Pelicans, I don't know if the Pelicans organization could, like, I don't want to say survive, but you know what I mean? Like the national media crushed the Pelicans in that scenario. What do y'all think about that in general? Like, if you got role players asking for trade requests now, like, how do you feel possibly going into next season with the possible trade request of like a Trey, a Herb, all of them, if you don't move them?
I mean, it's no different from what in my opinion, it's no different from what the national media is already saying. Like, I mean, it's calmed down recently, right? But if y'all remember, like, end of last year, going into this year, and even still now, in like the corners, they're calling for New Orleans relocation. Like, it's a consistent thing. New Orleans is the bottom of the barrel to the rest of the league, and it's unfortunate because we show up, right? We show up for our people. We show up when we're good, and we're not going to pay exorbitant prices when there's nothing to offer. But if we are shown repeatedly throughout all of these years, it happened at the end of the CP days, it happened sporadically through the Anthony Davis days, and it's happening now. We are just constantly made to feel like cows to milk for Gail Benson's wallet. And you can't stand for that. And so stuff like we're doing now, where we're talking about stuff and being realistic and being like objective about the players that we have, about the coaching staff that we have, about the ownership that we have, being realistic about that, but still showing the love and support that we have for this franchise and for this team is what's important.
Yeah, I agree. I think one thing, you know, when you see kind of like the proposals for Ben Mathurin and you see you know, there's some of the other proposals for guys, even with John Morant, people kind of turning up their nose at him. Like, you goofy son of a bitch. Like, this is New Orleans.
If Ja will come to your team, you take Ja Morant.
Yeah, it's like, who do you think? Like, I'm holding out for Anthony Edwards. Really? What? Why? Like, it's like, why stop there? Why not hold out for what LeBron's son, the other son? Why not hold out for him? Like why? People just people just have to deal with the reality of the situation. The way one of the ways the Pelicans, because personally, I don't think the Pelicans are in a dire situation. To answer your question, they only have really one bad contract on the books, and depending on how you feel about Herb's contract. The reason I say that is because you can go into this offseason with damn near $50 million in expiring money. And all you would have to do realistically is take back a bad contract and you're good. Like those guys instantly become movable because everyone, especially in this new CBA, is looking to get future money off the books. Jordan Poole, I don't really, and I know some people just generally dislike Jordan Poole. Me personally, I don't really feel either way about him. I wish it would have worked out, but it doesn't appear to. But this offseason, he's $1 million expiring. That's going to be the same position you were in with CJ. Because people act like CJ had all this fucking trade value or something. You could not move his year before he became an expiring. Nobody wanted to trade for him. Like you couldn't move him. So you're pretty much in the same position you were with CJ going into the offseason. With DeJounte Murray, to L's point, there's no way he could set out starting next season. I'm sure you'll have more capability to move a guy like that going into the offseason because people gamble with shit like that all the time. Like bringing guys back from injury. I think Houston would be a very interesting candidate, but that's something that would probably have to be done in season because Fred VanVleet
will be back next year.
Yeah, he's also like a 20-something million team option. There's people who are going to be willing to gamble with that. Even with a Herb, like that was my issue with extending Herb in this past offseason. I get it. Even with Jordan Hawkins, I get it because you need tradable salary. That's the only way the Pelicans really get talent is by trade or by draft. Like the Pelicans don't really sign high-profile free agents, sadly, in this market. But you combine all that tradable salary, that's again $50+ million. With Herb, you go into the offseason, you got teams like the Wizards, you got teams like the Clippers, you got teams like the Lakers who say, "Man, we are Herb Jones away." And it's like, brother, I promise you, I don't think you are. But if you think you are, that's what matters. So if Indiana called me today and say, "I'll give you Isaiah Jackson, Ben Mathurin, a first and a swap for Herb and Hawkins," I'm doing it because that contract, I don't think that contract is going to age well. It's already not aging well. And you got to start making some of these moves before teams start really looking into the details. Like he ain't really playing no games. The 3 and the 3-and-D not really there. You got to pull the plug in the offseason to probably be the best time for some of these guys.
Let me ask you this.
Man, to answer one of you guys' questions, I really believe like if you just get a good coaching staff, I feel like you already have some good quality players. You just put a roster together that makes sense. Like, bro, you'll be all right next season. Just get a good coaching staff. Get like Poole, DeJounte, clean. You know what I mean, man? Just clean up the roster. I really think the Pels will be good. I can see them being like a play-in, playoff team if they get a good coaching staff and clean up the roster.
Bro, winning cures all. Like if you got somebody, if you got a coach in here and say you decided to keep these players and we'll pass this to Q and Jaden, but it's just kind of like, bro, if you got somebody in here and the team started winning and showed they can consistently win, it don't even take like full seasons. You could go into, because first off, you're going to have to overpay for people anyway going into the offseason. If they could finish the season with, let's say they finish the season strong with some wins, right? And then they get a coach that somebody be like, well, all right, they finished the season strong. They got some chemistry. They got a coach that's, that's got some resume, got some resume about him. You might could overpay for for a free agent or two, or you could make a move with DeJounte in the offseason, like you say, Poole in the offseason. Maybe Ja don't get moved now, maybe Ja get moved in the offseason. I personally think you need to make that kind of deal now, because if you wait to the offseason, you're gonna have people that's gonna be willing to outbid you, and I think that's gonna put you in a bad like bargaining position. So if I'm really anxious to get Ja, like I'm doing that move in season now. But I say all of that to say, and then we'll just kind of pass it to everybody else, that this team isn't necessarily that far away. You could find yourself next year with a competitive team possibly with 2 first-round picks. And then again, you still got to imagine Queen and Fears going into year 2. You have no idea what that development is going to look like. Like maybe they do take a step and become helpful, useful players. So like, what do y'all think moving forward? You know what I mean? If they decide to do nothing at the trade deadline, like, is it dire if they did nothing at the trade deadline?
I don't think there's anything dire. I think that there are a few minor things that you can make. And with that being said, I'm not saying it's on the table, right? But if the Mavs came up to you and offered you like Daniel Gafford for Messi and a protected first, y'all taking that?
No.
You know, it's funny. Gafford actually got injured tonight.
That's what I was just about to say. That man walked off the court, so that value is down.
I think he came back. I think he on the bench. I don't know if he's playing again, but I wouldn't do it just based on the contract. That's the reason why I wouldn't.
Yeah, Gafford's contract is kind of funky.
I'm not moving none of my respect. I'm not like, if they sending me the first, then maybe, but I'm not moving the young player right now with the potential upside for like a player like Gafford, with respect to Gafford, but like I don't think Gafford does that much for us. Like you might as well have Messi. You get what I'm saying? And
that's
then
fair.
Get his upside. Now, if you told me it was for Vucevic, Lively. You know what I mean? Like I'm considering it for Lively.
I probably wouldn't give you a first, but I would take the gamble on Lively. Like I honestly would take the gamble on Lively.
Hey fellas, what y'all think about Jose? I saw a report saying Jose said he wants to stay. I'm like, bro, you gotta, man. If we could get a couple of seconds, you gotta go.
That's been a constant thing, isn't
bro,
it?
I'm tired of that. I don't want to go. And look, bro, it's time to go, bro.
I won't lie. I don't care whether Jose stays or not. To be honest, like it don't hurt. Like it don't hurt me.
For the 2 seconds, you wouldn't. Bro, hey, look, he on a team. He on a player option for next season, and he's probably going to opt out that deal. So he's gonna walk for nothing.
I mean. So I look at it this way. I understand the 2 seconds because it's you get cheaper potential players that could play.
You let Najee walk for nothing.
Well, Najee was about to get $10 million, and you wasn't gonna pay Najee. Now they shouldn't have let Najee walk for nothing. They should have traded him. They should have traded him. Yeah. So like that's my only thing. If you about to lose a player for nothing, I'll take damn near anything than letting you go for nothing. But like Jose, like I don't know, like you could move Jose for a couple seconds, and this is just my opinion, like, but I don't think it matters either way whether you move Jose or not. Like, do that make sense?
I think you got to move him, honestly.
Move him.
I think you have to move him because kind of with the Najee situation, if you could have gotten 2 firsts. Or I'm sorry, 2 seconds or multiple seconds from somebody. I talked to them. I don't want to say who, but I talked to one of the Najee people. He was like, man, I thought we was about to go to Canada. Like, and this is way before BI got traded and shit. This is that 49 win year. With Jose, if you had a protected first on the table last year and you
if it's something like that, you gotta
No, I mean, even if it doesn't convey and it becomes multiple seconds because these guys, like, and that's the thing with the Pelicans, bro, and that's why, like, this collective self-esteem, like, that's why I'm almost glad you got somebody from somewhere else, because when people are brought up in the organization, again, they value their own picks, the guys they selected more than other people. I don't think Joe and Troy give a fuck what nobody want. He's like, I don't none of y'all. Like, I don't.
Yeah, I believe the same thing.
You know what I'm saying? So I think. If with Jose, I think Jose would love to be back in New York. Would love to, because ultimately Jose is a replacement level player. And
that's the only point you said. Like, I don't know if it matters. Like if you could get something for him, I just like
the reason I say that
people don't really see Joe. Man, Joe be at every game. He definitely got attention. He was at the OKC game on the road. Joe be at every game.
The reason I say that though is mainly because if I could get multiple seconds, Jose was an undrafted guy. Like even let's say Brandon Boston was making $2 million, and when he was here, he outplayed Jose. I think if I could save $2 million on my books against the cap, I'm gonna just go ahead and like, all right, Jose, go on about your business, because on a good team, you probably don't even play, though. Like honestly, so the fact that I have to play you lets me know where my organization stands.
And also, we got to think about this, bro. Look, we like David Griffin, to get off bad contracts. He used to give away all the second round picks. We don't even have any second round picks until like 2032.
Yeah.
David Griffin gave away all the second round picks, the DeJounte Graham contract. Dude gave away a second round pick to get rid of Daniel Tice contract last year.
David Griffin was an awful player. I mean, awful.
Bro, like
GM,
you just
though.
giving away picks to get, like he was.
Yeah.
A lot of people didn't like really. I noticed that, bro. He used to like do that shit a lot, give away the second round picks, and it wasn't even like big contracts, small shit. I'm like, bro, you giving away a second to get off a $2 million contract?
Lodigan, my fault.
Huh?
Were you asking me? Or
I was about to say Tyrese Maxey got 30. He could be about 32 points tonight.
Really?
Like, yeah, like people. The game ain't even over yet, bro. That's what I'm saying. People don't hate David Griffin enough, though. That's why that's why I try to communicate this as best as I can. A lot of people in the local media were like beholden to David Griffin. Like there's people who there's a well-known writer who in the local media. I don't want to say
no names.
I ain't saying no names, but he literally had to David Griffin had to edit his articles damn near. Like he had to filter the articles to see what he can say and what he couldn't say.
Wow, that's ridiculous, man.
And I'm like, I put this on everything I love. So that's why I'm like, you mean like I think that draft night trade was awful. But
update for y'all, Gafford was about to check in again at Charlotte before they called a timeout. So he's good. He's about to.
Okay, can I say he was using a resistance band?
Probably, yeah.
So but if they don't make any deals, I would love for them to go make the first deal now and give themselves an opportunity to make the second deal in the offseason. But
I still think Josh should be that deal.
I think Josh should be the deal also.
I think Josh
also bonus. Do one of them.
I think Josh at the cost of anybody other than like Z and Trey, I'm open to.
It's just like, bro, I'll be very disappointed if they went past the trade deadline with this same exact roster. I'd be very disappointed. I'd be like, oh, y'all not serious. I wouldn't be able to take you serious as a front office.
Yeah.
Like if you didn't do anything, no, you ain't serious.
Let me ask you this.
I'm sorry.
Would y'all rather them do nothing or do a move that you consider to be a bad move?
How would you describe a bad move?
I don't know. I don't know how to quantify it.
I describe a bad move
on the table.
But no, that's not like a horrible move in my opinion, right? Like Ben Mathurin, like the main problem I have with Mathurin is you got to pay him, but also when Mathurin gets the ball, that's the end of the play.
You don't move it, yeah.
If
that's because he's trying to get paid.
Exactly.
No.
Hey, go get your bag.
I'm trying to get this bread. We get paid in the off season I average 16, 5, and 4 on whatever. They don't care if you swung the ball or not. They're looking at what your numbers look like. They off your numbers. This where you fall in line at, in my opinion.
My question to y'all, like one that I'll pose, is I'm assuming that
that would be a bad move right here. We'll be giving away the Milwaukee swap.
Yes.
Yeah, you gotta be smart. If you haven't learned anything yet as Troy with the Pelicans, you can't be betting on shit. You can't be betting on the team being
and
good.
that's the thing is Troy Weaver that man will put all the cards on the table and be like, I won, and then you didn't, and you're like, well, won it again.
And I really want to hear your question, Liam, because sometimes it works. Like when he traded up and got Duran and they reached for Westbrook. It's like sometimes that shit worked, but it's 50-50.
Like when I read off all those picks that that Troy Weaver was like either a part of or he drafted, like a good 85 to 90% of those were hits, like big hits, Hall of Famers.
Yeah.
I mean, so I'm sorry. I don't know. Like my thing is, Eve's on the table, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like if you're gonna put Eve on the table, my thing is why? Yeah. Wait. Oh, pause. If you're gonna put Eve up for trade, would you guys take Eve for Mamu and a second?
Mamu
Kelishvili.
Oh, is that the guy in Charlotte?
No, in Toronto.
Nah.
I don't know. I don't know who that is.
I need a first.
You need a first?
I need a first from the Raptors.
I gotta get first.
Because y'all goals are different. Like y'all don't have a big at all. So and y'all think y'all half-ass competitive. So
they got a shot in the East.
Look. So do you care about if you could get the first back? Do you care about the player you get back if you get a first?
Depends on who's first.
Like if let's say the salaries match, but you getting the first. Do you care about the player you getting back?
It depends on the first.
If you get the first for 2026.
No, it depends on who.
First?
Yeah, it depends on who. Right. Like if Chicago gave me a first, I would be like, yeah, I'm taking it. But if the Raptors,
you would care about the player that you get back?
Not necessarily. Like as long as I ain't got to take on bad money, I wouldn't really care. But Eve, I think Eve is a valuable asset considering the bigs on the market right now because he's younger. The upside's there. He's on a cost control contract. Still got about 3 years left on this deal.
With Jakob,
Jakob hurt in Toronto.
He's hurt and he's making 20 mil.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like Toronto fans don't like Jakob and IQ right now because of their contracts.
I won't lie. I'd package Eves and Herb, and I'd be like, y'all want to change y'all defensive lives? Send me, like, I'll package both of them and be like, let me see how many first you talking to come change. I mean, realistically, a team like who has multiple first that's looking at being competitive? Like, example, Golden State talking about getting extremely competitive. You might not be able to get Giannis, right? But I don't know if I could get the 2 firsts for Herb and then another first for Eve.
That's why the Pelicans should have did it in the offseason. You could have had Kuminga and 2 firsts for Herb.
You realistically still can get 2 firsts.
Nah, I don't think
if you find the right
caught
team,
on to it. They caught on to Herb.
Well, fair. But like,
bro, look, I was like listening to it was like Jake Fisher earlier. He was like, yeah, Herb Jones. He's like, he's like, oh yeah, real good player. He's like, but man, he's been having a subpar year. He was like, that's a sin at least. Like the way he he was like, basically, he's having a horrible year. He was like, they need to trade him before people kind of I think people have caught on to it, bro.
Bro, my bad, Liam. Go ahead. My bad. I was about to.
Yeah. Well, so I mean, like, my thing was, it matters where you trade him, right? Like y'all were saying. Herb can go for 2 firsts. But the thing is, if you trade Herb to a team like ours, right, then they're not giving up 2 firsts because they're in the same position as us. Herb is useful on a contender.
Right.
The reason why I would be okay with trading Herb to Toronto is Toronto owns literally all of their own picks. They do not, except for 2026 round 2, they own every single one of their own picks.
Hey, quick question. What do y'all think Herb and Eve could get you in a trade package together?
Probably total, I think.
You think you could get like an upgrade on a roster for Herb and Eve in the package, like trade package?
Yeah, I think you could get a Ryan Rollins level player.
Damn,
I think Ryan Rollins wiped the floor with Herb right now. See, like my thing is, I'm just so much lower on that type of player than I am just generally. Like I just don't believe you pay that type of player in today's NBA. But I also don't think his value is that high. I kind of agree with Mike and Liam. I think you could get two meh first from a good team like you picking in like the late teens at best. But you gotta remember Herb's a second round pick, so you gotta trust the scouting department if you're the Pelicans to get it right. If you're a fan rather.
Q, let me ask you this. I'm sorry,
I would trade him for one first, honestly. I don't need that much.
Q, let me ask, what do you stand on? What do you stand on Herb Jones, Q? Q and Jade, what do y'all stand on Herb? Like we get close to that deadline. How do y'all feel about the team, whether they have Herb, keep Herb? Like, what do y'all stand on Herb?
Well, how did she get over here to your neighbor's house?
I'll let you go first, bro.
Jaden, you probably gotta mute Jaden. I think he having a personal conversation.
I'm right here.
Oh, you good, Jaden? Oh, all right.
Y'all can hear me?
Yeah, we hear you.
Yeah, I'll let you go first, Jaden.
What was the question?
Just say in general, like how you feel about like Herb in general. Like, do you think Herb is part of the long-term future? Like they saying, do we need to keep Herb? How would you feel if they trade Herb? Like the value, just in general, like what you think about Herb?
Well, first part, I do not think he is not a part of the long-term plan. I think he's like a stress plea. No, not like a piece that's here for right now, but he's obviously what is he like 28, 29 years old right now? Herb is
27.
Yeah, somewhere like that. But I would feel disappointed if we traded Herb. But if somebody just like we all know he's been linked to the Lakers like all this time. And the only team I'd be hearing Lakers. And if you watch the Lakers right now, we saw what last night they got their ass whooped by 30 points in Cavaliers, 120, like 130, 100. Yeah. And I feel like the Lakers are gonna get desperate. So they need defense. Their defense is I think their defense is worse than the Pelicans right now. Yeah. Because they can't block.
They need a Herb Jones. They need a Herb Jones.
I feel Joe thought Herb was straight at Tayshaun Prince.
And I feel like the Lakers are gonna get desperate at some point. So I feel like the Lakers. I think Herb actually might get traded by coming this week because the Lakers are gonna be very, very desperate. So I can see the Lakers giving up a first or two for Herb and maybe a second to the Pelicans. So I think Herb actually will be gone by the trade deadline. I don't think he'll be here by the offseason because, like Chaz always says, I don't believe none of them guys outside of maybe Trey Murphy and obviously Queen and Feard are untouchable. I don't think Zion's untouchable. I think he'll be a past the trade deadline. But if Zion continues to stay on the court like he is right now, he played like 23, 24 straight games. He's playing out of his mind. And if he continues to stay on the court, ball out, I can see him being gone too by the offseason. But I'm being realistic.
Yeah. I think if somebody came and say, "Hey, I got two unprotected first for you. What you want to do?" Like, all right, Zion's been real, though. Not that, like, I think a lot of these guys are quote unquote untouchable because the offers haven't been met yet. But Q, so it's like Alvin's question to you, brother. Like, how would you rate, I guess, Herb's value to the team and his contribution to winning at this stage?
And to allude to Chad's point, you just don't pay a player like that.
I'm so sorry, Q. Maxie just hit the game winner. The man got 41 points. David Griffin, boy, fuck every boy. I'm David Griffin. No, man, I hate everybody in David Griffin house.
That nigga, David Griffin.
When Chaz watched the game. Bro, Chaz watch the league games, and you watch every player that the Pelicans could have had. Any of them that be successful just really upset you. You could tell.
Keontae George, bro, that one, bro, made me upset the most. That trade, that man.
But my bad, Q.
No, you good. But yeah, to allude to Chad's point, I don't feel like you should pay a player like Herb. You shouldn't, invest in a player like Herb. You just flip him to a contender and get what you can out of a player like that. Unless you're trying to continue yourself, honestly.
I think they made who said this? This is a really good point too as well. If Jose was undrafted, right? You should have moved Najee, but Najee also was undrafted. Herb is a second round pick. If you could have turned Jose into seconds, you turn Herb into if you turn Herb into a first, or two first, or whatever, ultimately in the end, you up on the deal. Like the return on investment would have paid off. So before you find yourself in a position, I think, to where it's like kind of how Najee walked away for nothing when you could have got something for Najee. I think they let that one, they dropped the ball on that. But realistically, if you move Herb now, like I think this season right now, before this particular trade deadline, is Herb's peak value. Herb's peak value is right now, in my opinion. I don't think it's gonna be like that in the offseason, because the way that the team looks, a full season of how Herb is playing, people gonna go into the offseason and be like, man, Herb shooting 32% from three or whatever he's shooting. You know what I mean? How many games did he play? Like, same thing we said about Ben Mathurin. When you look at the numbers, you're gonna look at Herb's numbers, and they're gonna say he averaged. What's Herb? Matter of fact,
Herb averaged about 9 points, bro.
Man,
he got 9 points a game.
Last game, Herb had like 5. The game before that, he had 0. The game before that, he had 2. I'm like, God damn.
He had 9 last night.
Yeah,
Herb
actually have him playing point guard.
Well, yeah. I mean, to start the season, they was running point Herb a lot, but Herb's averaging 9, 3, and 5.
I like Herb, bro, but to be honest, this is just my opinion.
38-30.
I think Herb on a good team, bro, is a really he's like a really good factor. But I believe Herb Jones on the Pelicans peaked 2 years ago. I think that 2023 season we saw the best Herb Jones. 49 win season, whatever you want to call it, Ash, whatever. That was the best Herb Jones we saw, and I think that's the best Herb Jones you will see with the Pelicans. I don't think you're getting that Herb Jones again from 2 years ago.
Especially coming from a shoulder surgery.
I don't think you're getting that Herb again from 2 years ago. And I think the expectation is when you get a year like that from a player like that, we are looking for that production again. But bro, I said this is my opinion. I don't think we're gonna get that
Liam for me
out of Herb.
I think that's Liam's TV. So let me see. I think how would you value Herb at this point? Same question to you, brother.
I'm moving Herb, though, respectfully. Like I like Herb. I like Herb, but
yeah,
I'm dead ass, bro. I like Herb. Don't get me wrong, but I just feel like one, we're not competitive enough. I believe in this. I believe in the regular season to make the playoffs, bro, you got to be good offensively. Like everybody on the floor, like needs to be offensive threats. Like if I could turn Herb into Ben Mathurin and like Neesmith or something like that, bro.
Boy.
You get what I'm saying? Like if I could do, like, they'd be like, hey, y'all want some defense over there for sure. Like here's Herb and Eves. Give me Mathurin and Neesmith or something like that. Like then I'm thinking out the box like that.
Yeah, I would do that.
You get what I'm saying? But
I'm doing that in a heartbeat, man.
People value Herb so much.
Even like asking you, are you sure? Man,
but that's my point.
What Borrego saying in practice? Borrego trying to double down on the defense.
Bro,
he can get his goofy ass the fuck on.
Yeah, bro.
We got Dave Chaz. Everything today, Chaz.
Give me
like to I'm sorry, El, go ahead. I'll go.
No, you're good. I'm just saying my philosophy for like regular season NBA. Don't get me wrong, bro. Like, because you got to make the playoffs. All of the teams that do well, like I'm not saying you don't have great defensive teams that play well, play great. Like Detroit is a great defensive team right now, right?
Right. Yeah.
But dog, these motherfuckers, you got to score the ball. Like you got to put the ball in the hole in the regular season, and that's what's going to win you enough games consistently to be able to get into the playoffs. I just want to do that. Yeah. I'll worry about once we can do that, go and find me one person to go get 30 points scored on them when we need that. That's just my point. So I like her, but I'm
forget that like the Milwaukee Bucks made the playoffs with Dame and Giannis, and they were giving up like 120 points a game, but they were scoring like 149.
Right.
Yeah.
Like,
go ahead, Chad.
I'll go to play is Sadiq Bey post up.
Yeah, like that's how I
Sadiq. I'm not the bruh. Sadiq Bey, who's the throw-in in the trade. You could argue has made. We ain't even got to go outside the building. He's made her replaceable to a degree.
I don't think he was a throw. I do have a little pushback. I don't think he was a throw-in because Troy did draft him, so I think Troy wanted them on the team.
Well, no, I know. I'm not saying that. I mean, like Jordan Poole.
For a contract, like the
contract or stuff. Like, I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying, like, Sadiq. You could argue Sadiq Bey right now is a more valuable player to the team than Herb Jones.
I think he's a better player than her. I mean, a better player than her. A better all-around player than her.
I think to Jess's point, I agree with both of Jess's comments as it pertains to the talent, because this, like, for as a draft pick, this also ties into the Herb conversation. It's like, well, this is a newer regime. We don't know who the head coach is going to be. Supposedly, Joe wants to invest heavily into development. Troy wants to invest heavily into, development and get new coaches and new voices in the building. What I will say is that's one of the only ways the Pelicans are really going to get talent, via the draft or via trade. The thing, and like I mentioned Matisse Thybulle earlier, two-time all defense player, rather, barely in the league right now, like just holding on by a thread. And he was out of the league relatively young. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he was a minimum guy, relatively young. Andre Roberson, who Troy Weaver discovered. It's like, bro, those guys are only good if they don't have to score at all. Like, if they don't have to score whatsoever. And OKC defended Herb the same way they defended him in the playoffs. Like, we're not worried about you at all. You 1 for 9 from out.
Man, it was 0 for 9 for 3. They like, bro, we ain't worried about you.
Yeah, we're not worried about you at all, dog. And most solid, decent teams are going to defend them the same way.
That shit was so disrespectful, though. They were like, we ain't even coming out there.
To me, the real problem lies with, like, yo, you don't really stop anyone either.
No.
And that's the thing I was like trying to like get across since like last season. Last offseason is like, I mean, we could talk about Luka averaging like 30 against the Pelicans. You talk about Devin Booker averaged like 30 against the Pelicans.
40 50-point games.
Multiple 50-point games, bro. You in that playoff series that people like to reference, you lost every game Devin Booker played, aside from the game where he left early with a hamstring. That was game 2. You lost every game Devin Booker played aside from that. So, and you it's like John Morant, like, you know what I'm saying? It's so many instances to where it's like, no, bro. When the guys show up, sadly, it really ain't nothing Herb can do. And he can't really help you on either side. He don't rebound. He don't really do anything. So it's kind of like, and I don't mean it. And I don't mean it really, I don't mean it in a fucked up way, bro. But it's like,
he don't really do. He does nothing.
It's like with Ben Simmons, right? It's like, and that's really why you like gotta get talent in the building. Even if that talent got like some flaws, you gotta hope that you're the next stop that they figure it out at, because it's the Pelicans. Sadly, it's just this market. With Herb, it's kind of more so like, all right, I've seen the best version of this player. these guys don't necessarily like him shooting 40. That's an anomaly in his career. Like that's the anomaly. The constant is middle to low 30s. So it's like, no. You're not really finishing at the rim well. You're not shooting well. You're not defending well. You're getting less and less healthy. No. Like, and I'm hoping that Troy recognizes this from the Troy Weaver. From the Andre Roberson thing, and it's like, we gotta move on. And like, I don't think this is gonna work. They just playing their cards so close to the vest that you really don't know what's happening here. Like, and that's crazy. Like, to me, I asked the panel, would y'all rather, because Herb making what, $13-14 million? Let's say Michael Peavy making $2 million. Would y'all rather have 2 Michael Peavies for $4 million or Herb at 15?
I'd take 2 Michael.
Easily 2 Michael Peavies.
And that's like the issue where the fact that it's a conversation, the fact that motherfuckers are easily, like, come on, Chad.
It ain't even a conversation.
That's really the problem.
Cheaper,
and it's
like 2 of them, and whenever Michael was in college, he was hitting 36. So
like look, we've seen a couple games now. I don't even know what he's shooting from y'all off this season, but I'm sure it's higher than her. Like, if I had to bet.
Yeah, he just had him an offensive game. You know what I mean? He had him a 16-point game or whatever it was not long ago.
It was like a 23-point game before Herb hit one.
Yeah, and I don't even believe in Michael like that. But
and nobody piling up on Herb at all. Like, I want to say that Herb is a very solid rotational player on a good team. But if you need him to be good, if you need him to, like,
if he's one of your win conditions,
your pillars, if he have to punch above his weight, you're in trouble. And that's kind of where the Pelicans lie right now from a talent standpoint.
You recently saw this in the games that they won. Who was the last team that they beat out in the Spurs game, right?
Yeah, Spurs game.
In the Spurs game, when you got Z playing well, you got Sadiq playing well, you got Trey playing well. Herb only shoot the ball 4 times, 5 times throughout the whole game.
Like 7 points or something like that.
Something like that. Like that's ideal for what it is. Like, that's when you can maximize Herb Jones. You know what I mean? Like, defend, cut, make timely plays, timely possessions, and stuff like that. I don't need, like, in the game against OKC, when he's feeling good and you got to shoot the ball 9 times, 10 times, 12 times. No, bro. Like, that, those are shots, like, just respectfully. But a bad that's a I'd rather have a bad Trey Murphy shot attempt than one of those shots for her. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yes.
So, like, that's just kind of where you at, which in a good team, like, again, if an OKC traded for him, they have more than enough offense to where, bro, you could do what Dort do. Like, you ain't got to shoot at all, to be honest. And say what you want about Dort, but shit, Dort got moments where he knocking down motherfucking threes.
And he just knocked down a bunch against us. And it's like, lastly, like, because I kind of wanted to just move away from her. And like, just because, but it's like, oh, you too skinny, dog. Like, you getting, like, everybody on the Pelicans be getting little Boyd out there, aside from, like, Zion and, Trey occasionally. But man, on that perimeter, you need some physicality. And right now, the Pelicans just don't have it. Like people say what they want about Ben Mathurin. Ben Mathurin averaged 5 rebounds consistently. He's been averaging 5 rebounds almost like a joke. Like, it's been a right, like, about there for some time now. And it's like, come on, son. Like talent wise, it's really not a question.
And then respectfully, like, as a matter of fact, hold on. First off, we appreciate y'all, everybody, for tapping into the show. Hit the like button, man. Hit the like button, share the stream. The fan line, bro, coming on Thursdays. You know what I mean? We try to keep this going where we have everybody. I appreciate all y'all for joining the show.
Appreciate the whole panel, man. Thank y'all. Shout out to everybody in the chat too.
Absolutely. Chaz, how much time you got left? We got too much.
Let's just cut it at like 2 hours. We almost there. Let's cut it to.
All right. About to say, got a little bit left. So with first, again, appreciative to everybody that joined. And, like, again, it's not necessarily to pile up on her. It's not to pile up on any particular team. But when we talking about ways to make this team better, those like you have to explore all of the avenues, and then you have to maximize your investment. Sometimes you might love a home, but if I could get $200,000 worth of value out of it, that motherfucker gotta go.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Right.
And respectfully to Herb, and like you said, you'd have mentioned this multiple times, like they didn't draft him. Like they don't owe Herb anything. Like they don't have no real, they showing more attachments to the people that they drafted in other places by going and get them. You get what I'm saying? So it's, I don't know. That's just kind of my opinion on it. What you want to close with? You had anything?
Man, let me see. Cause I had a small list here. Well, we pretty much covered most of the stuff. I just wanted to ask mainly about the Eve Messi thing, right? Let's just close with Eve. So shout out to Ed. Yeah, Matherin is a dog. He just you could tell that he just on the outs with that organization.
Let me ask you this real quick about Matherin too. Do you think, because a lot of people talking about Matherin don't fit, like, do you think he just not fuck with Carlisle?
I think that's part of it, but also don't fit with what? What's the offensive philosophy? Like who? Like again, to Q point, our go-to ATO is a Sadiq Bey post up. There is like people motherfuckers just go rogue out here. Zion go 5-10 minutes, or 5-10 real minutes at a time, 5-10 possessions, might not touch the ball, getting 10 field goal attempts. Not fit with what? You don't have nothing to not fit with as an organization. You a man without a country. Like you need to get talent so you can build an identity. People weird. What the fuck are they talking about? The man, you had two of your best shooter went like what, 1 for 8, something like that. Your worst shooter shot 9 threes the other day. 9 of them bitches on purpose. Ben Matherin shot 3 for 5 from behind the arc the other day. Man, you don't get the fuck.
And you still close in that game.
Yeah, like come on, man. What we doing? Like, that's the sad, bro.
Yeah,
it's unfortunate.
You said you wanted to close with Eves. What you think about Eves?
Man, because I think a lot of us we see the potential, we like it, and again, I got full transparency. Eve my dog, like you know what I'm saying. I fuck with Eve my dog, full transparency. But I look at it like, is the skill level replaceable enough for you to abandon some of the recency bias? Because some of it is recency bias. You still need defensive rebounding, etc. So at best, Eve projects to be a co-starter / rotational big. So would you trade him for a real deal guaranteed starting caliber player? And I think that's the question. Like for everyone. Would you say Q?
Absolutely.
Q say absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. You can get somebody that you can play in a rotation for 28, 32 minutes. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
See, I think that it's a tough sell, right?
It is for me. It is right now. It is for me a little bit.
But the reason why it's a tough sell for me is looking at Queen. You can tell Queen is supposed to be a post-Zion player. And what I mean is he is not supposed to be at the 5. He is not tall enough or big enough to defend people like Jokic, Chet, Isaiah, Duren, Isaiah Stewart. Like he's not strong or quick enough to be able to defend those people. I feel like he needs to be at the 4, which means Eve needs to have the starting minutes at the 5, which he hasn't been getting because Queen has made it clear, I want to play the 5. And so that puts you in a tough spot because you can't move Eve to the 4 because he doesn't have any of the shooting capability that you would get from a 4, like Zion's breaking out now, or like Sadiq Bey. Like it's just a very rough sell. And so I would say if the goal is to not move Eve until the off season, That's cool. Give me some games during the season, like some like bullshit, like blowout games, or like some bullshit games where we're not supposed to fucking win, and you put Queen at the 4 and Eve at the 5. Let me see it work. If it starts producing numbers, like some defensive stops, and you're still putting numbers up on the board, then I'd say keep Eve. But if it's not, or if you're planning, if the goal is to trade him at the deadline, yeah, just sell high.
To Justin's point, and I agree. I think if Eve makes it past the deadline, I think they believe in Eve. In my estimation, I think this is peak Eve trade right here. Like, in my opinion, I think, man, it's tough to say. I don't think Derrick Queen's a starter. Like, period. Like, just
At least
period.
not right now.
Yeah, not right now. Not right now. To Justin's point, as far as with Eve, you can make more than one deal. I think if they trust their because these centers are coming out of college ready to go, man. A lot of these guys, aside from like Malawak, boy, if they did that, that would have been crazy.
Yeah,
Malawak
them and Eve came into a fucking a horrible situation last year. And he started immediately, was putting up numbers.
Yeah,
touching a basketball 7 years ago. Like,
yeah, I think even if you're the Pelicans, and if you trust your draft prowess, I think you could draft someone that is equally as good as Eve, or maybe you do big by committee, and you kind of stockpile that position, because in my opinion, and again, Eve, my dog, I don't think Eve is the answer. I just think he's the best option now.
Let me give some pushback on Eves real quick, because I was having this conversation with my dog Mike, who be on the Pels and the Blender show. But we was like, man, initially the thought was like, yeah, let's move Eves. And then it was like, well, they don't have many cheap centers out there. That's why you see people like the Lakers looking for Eves and stuff like that, right? But then I was thinking about it. Y'all remember the very first Summer League game? You remember the fucking backup, the rookie center? What's your boy name for Minnesota? Bellinger.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, you remember how physically how he dominated that game? First, I'm just saying, like, I don't remember when did Minnesota draft him? He was in the 20s, wasn't he?
I think so.
He's in the Minnesota. I think Minnesota took him late, something like that.
Is that Young Behringer?
Yes, I think so. 7 foot or whatever. Bro,
5 blocks.
Bro, we couldn't get to the paint. This was Eves on the court. Eves couldn't get a rebound. He couldn't do nothing. Now, granted, it's Summer League, but only reason I bring that up is to say last year, like Awesome Newell that went to the Hawks this year probably could do a job that Eves did. That's Eves is doing. You know what I'm saying? So, like, while we say that Eves is not replaceable, or like who we're gonna get to replace Eves, like, he might not be in the league right now, but I absolutely think you could find what Eves brings. One, because respectfully to Eves, again, like, we have the recency bias. Carlo had, over like the course of the season, in my opinion, Carlo had moments where just like Eves can't play. You know what I mean? I need the dual threat from Carlo. So if I remove Eves, I'm just honestly going to give Carlo all those minutes. That's not to say that he could do the job defensively that Eves does, but if I'm going to get Mathurin and I still keep Carlo, like, I'm not really tripping, especially when down the line I trust players like the coming into the league, like the guy fucking Hansen Yang, man, the dude from the center from Portland.
Yeah,
Portland, yep. Like the center from Portland, like they took him. What did they take him at? It wasn't early, I don't think.
16.
And you already got Klingon, Time Lord.
Yeah,
they might have still had Ayton at the time, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. So I'm just saying, like, it's multiple centers out there. The center, look at the center rotation in Boston. They easily replaced Kristaps. Like, you know what I mean? So why are we thinking about it now? And I think like because we watch Eve so often, it feels, man, it's tough to replace that guy.
I think also, I'm sorry, Al, go ahead.
No, go ahead. I'm pretty much done.
I think too is because, man, we've been seeing some terrible center play. I think I said this during that Memphis game. The Pelicans got the worst starting 5 center situation in the NBA. And and like that's just I know what you're referencing, Fist. Yeah, it was crazy. But yeah, like seriously, bro, it's bad. And I think you're not really gonna see a situation where there's much, to Jess's point, much like continuity, because again, we don't really know who the next coach is gonna be. We don't know how those guys are gonna be utilized. And Eve still has some struggles on a defensive rebound, and that he may just never fix. Like truthfully, he may just never fix it. He's one of the at best right now. At best, he's a fringe starter. He's a starter on this team. He should start. Go ahead.
Let me answer this real quick. Just like the reason we've had so many problems at center is because our coaching wasn't competent enough to maximize the center that we had when we had JV.
Yeah.
Right. Because, and I'm not saying that JV is great right now, but if you had JV, like the extra
2 years ago, yeah,
the 2 years, you get what I'm saying? Like when they decided to pivot from JV and go with Larry Nance, then if you had JV supplemented with Eves, you would have solid center rotation. We don't have anybody like that. And then David Griffin decided not to go get a real center. Like he was so fixated on Jared Allen.
Tice.
You know what I mean? They just didn't. I don't think they did. I don't think they put the right amount of respect to the center position with what JV brought, because Willie Green wasn't a fan of the style of play that JV had.
My preference would be, and Jess, you asking great questions, because this is stuff that needs to be discussed, because your concerns, Jess, is the same as a lot of us, because like seriously, Eve is the best center option you have on the roster by far, as it currently stands. It's just like, some of it is a little bit of recency bias, just because like he's a rookie, he was solid his rookie season. Now that he's gotten, appreciate you, bro. Now that he's gotten, well, you in Michigan, yeah, you in some trouble like me, but
that man got ice everywhere.
Yeah, it's rough right here. Yeah, so center position, you struggle with rim protection, you're struggling with a lot of these things, and one of the reasons that JV was so valuable because he could secure defensive rebounds. Even Isaiah Stewart isn't the biggest guy, isn't the most athletic. It's only about like 6'8", 6'9", maybe. But he got like a incredible motor. And it's just something about, and I'm not talking about nobody in particular. It's just something about, huh?
I was saying he getting dunked on a lot.
Oh yeah, I mean,
part of the job.
Hey, when you a rim defender, Rudy Gobert get dunked on a lot too, and Wemby just, oh my god. But but Wemby he will get about 5-6 blocks. Look, Miles Turner had 7 blocks tonight. Last time I checked. And so, like, even with Miles Turner, some people like Miles Turner, but it's like, Miles Turner does not rebound. And if you're the Pelicans, some people like Jared Jackson Jr., it's like a lot of these situations, it's like you would still have similar issues because your best players, being Trey, Zion, and Herb, don't rebound, and your center don't rebound. So where the rebounding coming from? So like that's why the Pelicans getting a big who can defensive rebound is so critical. I think a lot of the stuff with Eve too, just being real, it feels good not to see a lazy motherfucker at the 5, and that's really a lot of it, bro. Like a guy who's not giving up a bunch of offensive boards, who's at least trying 100% of the time, and that's appealing. My preference would be to move Herb and keep Eve if I could.
That would be my thing too. Like, and so we had. First off, appreciate all y'all for tapping in, man. For real.
Indeed,
we had the 2-hour mark. So look, I'm like Q, Liam, Jaden, appreciate y'all though. But I'm gonna go ahead, let y'all man. We get ready to close the show out.
Sir, thank y'all.
Appreciate y'all be safe,
man.
Fellas.
All right, y'all boys.
Be safe, stay warm.
Yes, indeed, man.
Y'all
Same to y'all.
Stay up for sure. All right, yeah. So though, like ideally, and this will be my last comment, and then we kind of roll
For
out.
sure.
But like, bro, I like Herb. I like Eve. I like a lot of the players that we drafted.
Yeah.
But if I'm thinking just on a bigger scale of like team needs and like what it is we could do, first off, if you traded Eve right now, like we complaining about the center position, no, this team ain't winning anyway. Like
that's the thing too. Yeah, you're not like, trying to win right now. Yeah, anyway.
Yeah, it's just kind of like not who gives a fuck, but it's just kind of like you got use this season to experiment with however it is, whatever you want to experiment. Like you could take the best deal for her, keep Eves. So like you could start Eves, you could not start Eve, you could start Queen, you could not start Queen. All of the things that you want to do right now, this is the season to try it all, to where you could figure out what it is you need to do in the off season. So like that's just kind of where I want to land my plane when we talk about like the trades and like even when we thinking about like Ja and Murray and all like if you could get a player like Ja, go get Ja now so you can start establishing whether it works, what it's gonna look like, what you need, what you don't need. If you get people that want Herb, dog, get like y'all can have Herb. If you gonna make Herb a focal point, if you gonna make Herb a focal point and say we need Herb, go get Herb JV. Or go get more off. Go get the offense.
You need go get some offense. Yeah,
go get the offense. So like that's another point too, and that'll be my last point.
No, go ahead.
No, like if you're gonna keep Herb, right, you really need to emphasize a player like Sabonis that could be 20 and 14 and something like that, who could give you the offense and like still get the boards. He might not be great defensively, but if Herb is something that you trying to keep, it allows you to maximize what Herb does because he ain't got to worry about scoring the ball. But that's just kind of my point.
I'm laughing to myself because I'm like, bro, last season we needed a point guard and a center. This season we need a point guard and last season point guard, center, shooting. This season point guard, center, shooting. You only got so many avenues to go get that. Herb being one of them. You're not gonna trade because he's the best shooter on the team, right?
Absolutely.
You're not gonna trade Zion because ain't no point in none of this. Bears and Queen, you're not ready at all. So your only goal is to keep going into the light, and hopefully you come out on the other end of this in a in a good situation. But like you really have to go get some talent. To your point, if you're gonna play Herb, all right, cool. Herb can't start for you no more. Herb can't start for you. You gotta get some shooter. Then it's like, all right, am I gonna pay this man X amount of millions of dollars to come off the bench with a limited skill set, averaging 8-9 points? No, it don't make no sense no more. So asking for 2 first is asking for too much, in my opinion. Because I mean, from a contender, I guess, because they really like early seconds. But seriously, like, man, if the offer's out there, you need to go ahead and make it happen. Because this ship it has sailed like on that. Like that iteration of the team is done. We're in a new age. You're struck. To me, the issue ain't as much the defense. The issue is you can't score. It like you had the lead in OKC. You couldn't extend the lead because you can't score. Any motherfucker that's consistently going 1 for however many shots from beyond the arc, no. Like you can't score. You can't win consistently playing guys like that because no one's gonna defend them. Unless you about to go into the tax and I'm about to get some bonus. I'm about to go get this guy. I'm about to go get that guy. And he's just like Caruso to you. But
I would do that shit. I would do that shit, but we ain't there.
Yeah, you're not even there. You don't even know. Again, you ain't got no coach. So
no, you
ain't got no coach. So
who the guy is.
Man, you gotta move on some of these assets and overvaluing them. I know this segment is a little bit controversial, but like
I don't think it is.
I say that because
people love Herb.
Yeah, people have an affinity, for Herb. And again, Herb's a cool player. I'm just like, with the reality of the NBA, nobody's gonna go. If the Pelicans, if Tony Allen was a free agent right now, it would be stupid for the Pelicans to go sign him.
Yeah.
Like, cause like, what am I gonna do with
I'm gonna do with 8 points a game?
Yeah, what am I gonna do with that? Like, and no
not
rebounds.
Even a guaranteed 8.
Yeah, that's why it's like, and it's not beating up on Herb because he got the money, but it's like, no, the ship is sail high.
And it's not to say that Herb is not a good player. It's just that, and
he can't meet the demands on this roster.
Yes,
he can't meet the offensive demands on this.
We're gonna have to do a no Herb allowed show, like
no slander.
Yeah, just not talking about her because it just. I think because we agree on it, it's kind of
make it look like we piling on them, and it's like no, bro. Everybody like Herb. It's just imagine. Like, I'm trying to think of somebody on another team. Let's say OKC, for example. Imagine if they was like Kenny Hustle. You gotta go score 15. It ain't no ifs, ands, or buts. We need you to score 15 points, Kenny. If look, OKC,
that's like the Spurs asking Jeremy Sohan. Like,
it's perfect example. 12. Perfect. Look, Atlanta asking Dyson Daniels. Dyson, we gave you that money. We need 18 points from you a night, brother.
And we need to go guard up.
Yeah, and we need you to go guard up, and we need them from beyond the arc. Them points, we need them from beyond the arc. Just so you know, it's unfair. It's not what I do. it's not who I am. I need 13 and 5 from you. I need 13 and 5 from you.
Respectfully, Herb has exceeded his draft expectations, but Herb was a second round. But he was a second round pick for a reason.
Yes,
a lot of what these dudes are drafted on are based on potential, and some players just far exceed that. That's not always the biggest, you know what I mean, indicator of what a player could be. But once and shout out to her for fixing the jumper, but once Fred Vinson was gone too,
the jumper
fucking 3-pointer moved to Detroit too. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, shout out to her, man. Shout out to the whole team again. But it's all about. In fact, I had a long conversation with someone who's close with a person on the team. People feel a lot of ways about this particular player, and I talked to them for a couple of hours, man. And I had to stress, yo, bro, it's all about the front of the jersey. So anything I say about this player, it ain't personal. I don't know him, and I don't really want to know him. It's just I'm about the team. I want the team to win. So. And he totally understood. The same thing with Herb. It's like, bro, it's all about the front of the jersey. And for this organization to move forward, they have to utilize the assets that can net them the best return so they can turn that into winnable players.
And again, if I'm Herb, I understand, because this team values Herb, right? So you're going to get paid. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. All of that's going to be fine. But at the same time, the player in Herb is probably like, dog, I want an opportunity to compete. I want, imagine Herb in a OKC situation.
Oh yeah, he ball out.
How different his career could look. Let me go be Bruce Bowen for a little bit for somebody. You know what I mean? Fuck, right. I don't want. If I'm Herb and I know I'm limited offensively to what I could do. Why do I want to be in a situation that's constantly stressing me out?
Demanding
me to be the offensive engine. Hey, we need you to run point. I mean, I did that shit in college. I guess I could do it. You want me to do it on the biggest stage? I'm okay. It's just, I don't know, bro. I don't know.
Look, talent wins games, man. You got to just go out there. If you want to win, you gotta go get some talent. At this point, you've been losing talent the last 2 years. You haven't been adding any. Yeah. And the guys you have added have been injured and dealt with other issues. Go get some talent.
Go get Booby Miles, man. Go get Booby Miles. Bring if you want to win, put Booby in. I'm about to spin. So we're gonna leave it at that, man. Appreciate everybody for tapping in, though. It was the fan line. Appreciate everybody. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, share the page. We had a good bit of people that joined the
man, it was dope.
So this time that shit was live. Again,
shout out to everybody that commented.
Absolutely. And if I know I got this running on X right now. If y'all in X and you want to get on the show, come over to the YouTube, join so you can hit the link. We'll hit y'all with the time that the show coming next week and whatnot, and then we'll put it out and the link will be posted. Everybody join. Tapping, man, this should be fun, bro. And again, we talking about the Pels, but if y'all got other stuff that y'all want to discuss around the league, other sports or whatever, we could do that too.
Yes, indeed.
With that being said, man, I'm A. Davis, my dog Cheddar Chaz. You heard me? Yo, make sure y'all follow Chaz, man. Chaz page or whatnot. Chaz, you want to give him your stuff?
Oh yeah, man. It's just at Cheddar Chaz, the No Pick Show. Then we got In Your League, and you become a member for the Ain't That the Truth show. gonna be what's today, Thursday, so we're gonna be filming Friday, covering the Memphis game. It's an early game. I believe it starts at 6:30 Central, if I'm not mistaken. So it's an early game for me as well. I'm gonna be covering that live, and hopefully Ja leaving with the Pelicans. Whenever the Pelicans leave or whatever happens, hopefully Ja is traveling with the Pelicans after that game. Tomorrow, it's gonna be 6:30 Central, 7:30 Eastern. I believe the game tip-off is. Right. So we're gonna be live. Yes, indeed.
Yeah. Make sure y'all tap in, man. Everybody be safe, y'all, with this weather and everything being crazy. Y'all stay up. We out. Peace.
Peace.